Hello and welcome to Buckman's Model Mania. Today we're going to be working on the Disney Dollhouse Stage 18. And I have the parts that we need. We're going to be working more on Wall 5. Plus we have several parts in Pack 18 itself that we're going to be working with. Being careful to not lose any parts as I get the bubble pack open, which sometimes is a little bit of a trick in itself. There we go. So first, let's go through the extra parts that we have, the parts that are going to be decorations. We'll get rid of this first, the paper, and in here we have a table with the 4 legs. We have the trim panel with the Mickey strip wallpaper. We have another trim panel that goes on the other side of the wall. We have an additional piece of wall here. And we have various tiny little pieces here. So we've got a feather duster, a bottle of ink, an inkwell, a quill that goes into the inkwell. Let me go ahead and set these over here. So we have one more thing. It's going to need a little bit of work, and that is a letter. And the letter says you can make it look like it is a scroll if you wrap it around a dowel, piece of wood, something. That's what they want you to do, is wrap it. And it's a little bit harder than you would think. But you coil it so that it takes on a coil on the top and the bottom. I'm going to do that off screen because right now, as I'm doing it, I'm kind of messing it up. But I'm going to set that right there. Let's go ahead and get rid of this bubble pack. And I have things I can put these pieces in. Let me see. Okay, that one's dry. And that's exactly what I'm going to do here. I'm going to put them all in here along with that little brass rod that I'm going to use to coil the letter into a scroll. So we'll set this off here and we'll actually get to the build piece. So what it says to do is attach the legs. And when you attach the legs, they're going to go in here like this. You can see they're shaped holes like that. And you're just going to add a little bit of glue. And of course this is clogged. You're going to add a little bit of glue to each of the holes to keep the leg in place. So let me go ahead and clear this opening here. Hopefully that's got it. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. I'm not going to worry too much about putting a lot of glue in here, just enough to hold it in place, because nobody's going to be pulling these parts apart. Wipe that off so that hopefully it will not dry in the tube. And we're going to just slide these in like this. Pull them all the way, or push them all the way in, and they should seat well and stay in place when the glue dries. And because it's water-based glue, it may take a while to dry because it's probably pretty airtight. But there's the table, and the table is for, let's see, Beauty and the Beast room. Had to kind of figure out what it said in French. I've got a lot of stuff stacked up over here on the bench. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to bring the wall over here. This matches the previous walls that we've done, but we're actually going to work on the blue side. And you see the wallpaper is sticking pretty well, and you got this section here that is going to attach right here, and it's going to be just a short wall. Not going to see it on this side. So let me go ahead and put some glue on here. I'm just going to do some glue up here on the flats. Not going to worry about the tabs because as long as the flats attach, then, no, I'll put a little bit on each of the tabs. But I was going to say, as long as the flat side attaches, the tabs shouldn't have any issue. Lift this up. We'll slide this back in here. Grab a Q-tip to clean the excess here off. Almost looks like I may have shorted the wallpaper, except for the wallpaper, if I remember right, we started here and went across. So we'll see how that works out. You can see right there, very little bit. Although this wall is going to be like that, you're not going to be able to see that wall or that slight gap in the wallpaper. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this piece here, this trim piece, and there's a slanted end here. It's going to go get butted flat up against here. And it's going to be flat up against this wall piece and flat up against the top here, and it's going to cover the top of the wallpaper. So we're just going to take a little bit of glue here. Just a very bare amount. I'm using wood glue. It's going to set up a little bit faster than white glue. Turn it around, and I just got a little bit on the wallpaper. Didn't mean to. Set it right there. Push it up against the top. They always use tape. I prefer using a clamp to hold things in place. Get this down here where it belongs. Clamp there. And let's put another couple of clamps in here. One here. Make sure it is not blocking any of the tabs. And that is all there is to do on that side of the wall. So let me go ahead and turn this over. Well, actually, I'm not going to turn it over. I'm going to let it sit for a minute. And I'm going to bring, well, never mind. I will turn it over because I need to have access to this side. I'm just looking. The first thing we're going to do, similar to every other time, is make sure that we line up the Mickey heads upside right. You're going to have the slant on this end, and just it's going to be a flat end on this end. Just looking, this should be fine. I'm going to put the spot right there. The division is going to be between the heads. So let me peel the backing off a little bit. There we go. Got to peel it a little bit. Again, I'm going to center it between the heads. And then just pull it across and push it down into the groove as we go across. Trying not to, as I'm going across here, try not to kink it, not to have it not completely straight. I'm going to push it down in here. I seem to think that for some reason, I want to say I have had a little bit of issue with some of this stuff peeling just a hair. So I'm going to put a little dab of glue just here at the ends. That's going to keep it from peeling there. Do the same thing on this end, and I can feel it already. It's starting not to want to stay. A little bit of little dab of glue should make it stick pretty well. Let me clean the glue off the back here. Then, where are they? Where are my little sharp scissors? They're over here somewhere. Oh, there they are. They're on the other side of my coffee cup. No wonder I couldn't find them. Saw the coffee and I was like, ah, coffee. I lost all sight of the little scissors. So we got one side cut off. Cut off the other side at an angle. Kind of wrap it a little bit there. And that should stay relatively well. So then we're going to turn the page, and the next thing it's going to have you do is glue it where these clamps are. Key thing is, I just looked, they didn't give you a mark here to line it up to. They did give you one over here. What you're going to do, by the way, this is between those two pieces, that is going between the trim piece here, the trim piece on this side. It is going to firm up where that was broken, to where it will not be a weak point. It's kind of funny. They say 1 millimeter, and they say at the same time to line it up here. It says line it with the wallpaper here, and then you should have 1 millimeter, but that's a lot more than 1 millimeter there. But we'll make it work. So put some glue in here. And I know Dash on Hobby Time Modelers on our Discord says I should use tacky glue. I kind of like the wood glue. I do have tacky glue, but I kind of like the way the wood glue has been working. So I'm going to line this up here. We're going to push it down, and hopefully that shouldn't matter too much in the grand scheme of things. So now we're going to put these clamps back on. That's not going to work. We need different clamps, and I just got glue on the wallpaper. That's not good. So what we're going to use is these clamps instead, because they're going to grab on the bottom instead of the very top of the trim piece. And the key thing is it'll hold relatively well without me doing that. They keep saying to use a piece of tape. I don't want to put tape onto the wallpaper because the wallpaper is already, from what I can see, very fragile. So kind of clamping a little bit on both sides, Got a hold of it a little bit there. That one should be good. Holding it on here. Push these out of the way. The reason I didn't use this clamp is this clamp versus these clamps. This one's a lot stronger, more likely to do damage. So let's put those away. And yeah, like I said, I will work on the scroll in a little bit off camera. You'll see it later on when I put the house, finalize the house. But that, my friends, is all there is to do in issue 18. Hope you're enjoying this build. I appreciate you stopping by. If you're enjoying this, like, subscribe, leave a comment, hit the bell icon to be notified of any time I post new content. If you want to see what I'm doing, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Have a great day. Have a great day tomorrow, and I will see you in the next video.